In my mind, innovation has to be treated quite differently from the English word called invention. Many times I find loosely these words are used interchangeably, but in my mind, innovation doesn't mean you are inventing something new. It really means you are finding a repurposement of something that's already happened or a new way of doing things. It's different to inventing. So having kept that in mind, the other thing one has to be a little careful about innovation is you have to have a mindset that allows enough room for failure. You cannot, I think, be an innovating organization if you expect every bet to be a successful bet. You should be prepared to lose some bets. And having said that, I think 2 or 3 things could help in, there's no magic mantra, no secret sauce. It'll all be different for every corporation, every entity. But I think 2 or 3 things that would perhaps help institutionalize innovation. For the top leadership in any organization to keep a completely open mind and to have some boldness in the ability to go where other people may not have gone. Because innovation is really a way of finding new ways of doing either the same things or new ways of doing different things. And you can trip up on some of these. You need to make some investments that you can afford. We've ensured that the performance matrices of our senior leadership, we have some element of what new ideas they have brought to fruition. So just new ideas are not good enough. Those ideas need to add value to some business. So we try and in every review see what are the new ideas we've come up with. Natively, we have the ability perhaps as a group of borrowing an idea from a particular country where we operate and replicating it in another location. That's one big thing perhaps. The other thing is you need to create some kind of a formal or informal ideation / innovation structure. And it can't just be one central department, right? So again, in ICICI, we have an iLab where every employee is free to contribute ideas. Now, these could be, how can we straight through process something better? How can we eliminate processing steps out of a back office? How we can improve a form design. It can be big or small. The world, I think, is getting stuck on big bang innovations. It's the small things that will add up and create the DNA of the organization. And I think along with that, it's good to recognize, in again a formal or an informal way, the ideators in an organization. And they can be cross-functional. They can come from business, they can come from service, they can come from operations, technology, human resource, any function. Those are broadly, I think, essential ingredients. It's not as I said, it's not a secret sauce, but these are ingredients. Innovation has to flow up from below, but it has to be embraced from above. I think the important thing is if in an organization you can create an embracing atmosphere for innovation, it really doesn't matter whether it's 5% of your employees who are ideating or 20. Everyone is encouraged, but you don't have to penalize or reward people simply because they've ideated. Because ideas have to finally add value to either of the stakeholders of the company, right? Normally customers, the balance sheet, the P&L, the employees of the company. And so, I don't have any advice really as to how every employee can be encouraged to ideate, except that you create an aspirational environment where people's idea, somebody throws up an idea. Let's say I have a colleague who says, I have this great idea. Do I give him time? Do I listen to him? So it's soft and hard ways in which, you can promote the concept of ideation. And as a mentor, many times you've got to explain to people, let's say an idea is not workable, right, for whatever reason. You could have ideas, right? Let's say it's against a regulatory charter. So then, do you just tell the employee, this is no good? or you explain and encourage and motivate him. And so it's a lot of soft and hard issues that go into how you create that environment. Putting some matrices around it is one piece. But more importantly, how do you react to people who are coming up with wacky ideas is, I think, critical. Because if management frowns when there is a wacky idea, it's likely that the next idea will not come up. I think human beings, by their very nature, ideation comes naturally to human beings. Many people get inhibited because of how they believe the environment will react. So all you can do is make it a more welcoming, or let me say a less unwelcoming. Presented a hypothetical situation where the idea is good, it's cost effective, there is an obvious benefit, right? Whether it's business, customer, whatever, there's an obvious benefit. I think at that point, the only thing to do is to say how soon can we implement it and what is required. And it doesn't really matter whether it requires a lot of resources or few resources. Net, if it's a good idea, and you said it's cost effective, but I'm saying if there is an ROI kind of loosely associated, it doesn't have to be fully tagged. You don't know how they will grow. You have to only make sure the ingredients are right. Logically, they appear correct. If it's too wacky, you might say, can we do a small pilot? Again, a warning on pilots. Sometimes an idea that doesn't work in a pilot may really work in full bloom. Right? That happens too. From the situation that you are describing, my approach would be how soon can we get it off the ground? And typically my role would be in ensuring that multifunctional, cross-functional teams all pull together. Because usually in large corporations, what could happen is that any new idea is going to impact multiple stakeholders, and it will require changes in multiple places. Maybe process, maybe people, maybe technology, maybe whatever. So I would say, let's run for it. All the technologies or the products that this institution has launched for the first time in this market, I can tell you that at least 50% of them started in that kind of a manner. If you want a more specific example, 2 years ago we started something called the cash deposit machine. Right? Now, nobody in India has a cash deposit machine, which is nothing but an ATM, which instead of giving you money, takes in money but credits your account immediately. Counts the money, sorts the money, credits your account immediately. Now, this is not an invention. These machines exist in Japan, they exist in US, they exist in Mexico. The thought really is, was the Indian market ready for it? And again, it started in exactly the same way, and in 2 or 3 months we got manufacturers into the country and we got it implemented. Let me go back to, early 2000. When, the innovation doesn't have to be only me, it's the whole organization, where the then CEO felt that ATMs was an area we should be betting on. Right? At that time, ICICI Bank had 85 ATMs, one in each branch. So we actually redefined that market. I'm giving you some big bank innovations. And innovations remain innovations only for 3 months, 6 months. Right? Yeah. Everybody will adopt them after a while. And those are typical examples where traditional business wisdom would have said, let's go slowly. The investment is large. It's huge. You look at, what we did again in the early 2000s on centralization of what today you guys call core banking. Right? We used to have servers in every branch. These are big ideas where you are bucking headwinds. And you're saying, I believe the future is in this direction, is going to help customers. We will be able to open 24/7. There are clear benefits. So, I'm giving you some headline kind of examples rather than going into, the kind of daily stuff that we get. How can we use existing systems better? How can we virtualize? So, for example, in ICICI, we've actually been physically shrinking our data center despite the fact, because you're leveraging technologies that allow you to shrink. And we welcome them from customers as well. There are customers who write to many of us directly saying, why can't, recent one, we are soon going to be giving you your tax credits through the internet banking platform of the bank. So if you log into your account to the bank, whatever TDS has been deducted from your current employer, any house rent that you receive, we will display it. These are small things to make. It's not going to necessarily bring income to an institution. But ideas are, I think, the lifeblood of any organization. So you'll find them everywhere.